Hello there. Welcome back to Empower Your Soul. I am really excited today to talk about the things that I don't have figured out yet. That is how this is going to go. This is going to be a more galactic timeline based podcast episode. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm going through. But I've been going through some really weird shit, and it's going to sound really simple, but to me, it's really weird shit. And I'm really thinking hard about this. So I wanted to get it out into the ethers. So hopefully you can learn from it. You can say that makes sense to me. I've had a similar experience. You can be like, Nicole's fucking crazy. I'm unsubscribing from this podcast. Whatever your reaction is, that's totally fine. I'm okay with it. As somebody who is as fucking skeptic as me, like this is really hard for me to comprehend and wrap my brain around. Okay. But I have to tell you that this is the shit that is coming down the pipeline in the metaphysical world. So I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't talk about this crazy shit that is going on. So first of all, a lot of this started way back when on my other podcast episode where like I just started going galactic, right? And then I got the galactic reading. I learned all about dimensions and timelines and my soul's origin as in terms of the cosmic realm. And it was just like, it's like spirit was like, you're ready for this, let's go. And now they've since opened it up hugely for me, and I still don't have all the puzzle pieces. So that's why this is going to be like the unknown podcast, because I don't know the answer to all these things. I'm working through it. As I have updates, I'll let you know. By the way, I am taking a galactic class for the next 6 weeks. I think it starts today. So I will let you know what I'm learning over there. But it is like this whole next level of learning. And I thought it was really, really interesting because I recently, before my vacation at the end of August, went to Barnes and Noble, and I went to like 10 minutes before closing. I do not have a lot of time to think about it because obviously I can never ever have enough books. I've now have like a third bookshelf in here besides all of these millions of books that are behind me. But I went, and Spirit immediately went to the metaphysical section. I saw a book called, hang on, let me grab it. Soul Design by Dr. Linda Backman. And it's a really, really interesting book. And I read that while I was on vacation, and it's another past life regressionist book. I love these. They're amazing. I'm obsessed with past life regressions. I was thinking about like, should I just go and get a certification? Cause I don't like QHHT. Let me just be very clear about that. If you do it, I'm sure you do it lovely. I did not have the best experience with it. I digress on that one, but I do think that regressions through hypnosis can be so fucking powerful because it's allowing you to see what I see. Because when you go through QHHT or other past life regressions, you're not making it up. And so your experience when you go through those modalities is the same as what we experience as metaphysical practitioners, because we can see the same thing. And so anything that I allow other people to experience and know the truth of, because once you've been through one of those sessions, there's no way I made that up. There's no way I made that up. Like, it is still crystal clear months after you've been through those readings. And so that is your evidence of that's not from you as a human. That's from spirit. That's from your subconscious. And so I 100% respect that modality. I think it's lovely. I would love to get certified, but Spirit says, don't bother. You can do it another way. And I'm like, okay, we'll figure that out at a different date. But it's a lovely past life regressionist book where this woman essentially describes the origin of souls. And she describes it in 3 different realms. So she says souls typically come from either the angelic realm, and she says it's like 2 to 3% of the population. It either comes from the cosmic realm, and I can't remember what it was. That was like 5 to 10%. And then the rest are from earth-based souls. So they typically will reincarnate here. And I 100% did not expect to read that in this book, but I'm so glad that Spirit pointed me to this book because it was so profoundly validating for me as a practitioner. And let me explain why before I talk about all the other chaos that's been going on in my life. This book and explaining the 3 origins of souls, there are things in that book that I have said in readings or have experienced for myself that she has called out as a past life regressionist. So this is not her, right? So she is not somebody who connects with your guides. She is somebody who puts you under hypnosis. You say and relay what you are experiencing through hypnosis, and she's taking all of these client cases and pulling patterns and themes and pulling this book together. And so the things that these clients have said in this book are things that I have said or experienced as well. And I find that to be absolutely fucking wild, because I have, out of the words of my own mouth, told somebody that, no, you have been reincarnated mainly on Earth. Like, this is mainly where you have come from. And like, I don't know if I believe what I said, but I said it and it came through. And I was adamant. I was like, people are going to tell you that you are from cosmic backgrounds. You are not, you are from Earth. Like, this is where your soul is, right? There are clients, mentees of mine, where I have to go to a galactic council or somewhere way on the other side of the universe to channel the message from. It's not their guides. They have a council, right? I have had instances where clients have told me, or I have seen, Archangel Michael is your guide, Archangel Ariel is your guide. And so these are all experiences, thanks for backing me up, Belle, that I have experienced. And by the way, like, I've had my own connections with my team, and they've shown me like wings on my back, like I'm an angel. And I was like, bullshit, like bull fucking shit. Don't put that shit on me. So it's really interesting to be able to hear this book and have her explain what that means for souls. How does she pick that up in sessions as souls? Because I've had the same exact experience. And I've pondered this. I'm like, why are there, and this is something I've literally put out into the universe and to my team. And I'm like, can you explain what the fuck? What does this all mean? If there's galactic, if there's angelic, if this is earth-based, like, can you help me piece it all together? And this book fucking pieced it all together for me. Not entirely, because I think there's some components of that I am still digesting, because I don't truly believe that you are created in these areas. I think we all come from source, but what makes us pick to reincarnate in specific circumstances, I don't know. Maybe that's more what this book is about, is like, I think there's going to be people that are souls that more choose the angelic realm. I think that there's souls that more choose the cosmic realm. I think there's souls that more choose the earth realm. And maybe this is a progression that we haven't figured out yet. Maybe we start as cosmic, we go to earth, and then once we've hang on a second. Maybe it's opposite. Maybe we start in earth, maybe we go into different systems, and then maybe we become angels after we're sick of fucking reincarnating. Like, I don't know. So there's parts of this that there's puzzle pieces missing. And I feel that there's puzzle pieces missing to this, but I loved that explanation, because when I went back and did my galactic reading, as you heard on the podcast, it just didn't sit with me. I don't resonate with galactic. And this is part of the thing that doesn't sit with me, is that I think our upbringing has a lot to do with what types of things that we believe in, right? Catholic, raised, last name Pope. Obviously, I align with the angels. Like, I just do. They've always been my jam. Aliens have kind of intrigued me, and I watched X-Files as a kid, but it was never really my avenue that I really felt called to explore. I've always felt the angels, right? And maybe that's by design too. I don't know. But I'm sure there's other people that are into Ancient Aliens and the X-Files again, and like all of these other shows or experiences that are like fucking galactic and love the idea of outer space. And yeah, they would probably come through saying more galactic things because they have more knowledge about that. You know what I mean? And like the same, I think, with earth-based souls, as she describes in her book, because people who are, I don't know, more indigenous, more pagan, more of the earth, wouldn't they come through with that knowledge and present that more forward in their past life regressions too? And I know, because I've had past life regressions. I don't know. So I think some things in that book made a lot of sense, and I 100% believe and support that book. And I think that that book is from high integrity. I'm going to definitely be checking out that author in terms of her other books and other service offerings. However, there's some stuff that it just kind of started chipping off the top of the iceberg for me. And I'm just like, there's some other stuff way down deep in there, and I'm going to have to investigate that. But I loved that she gave a basis for me understanding essentially that souls can come from or have a basis from 3 different areas. And so I like that, because I didn't know how cosmic fit in with everything else, how galactic fit in with, is it present? Is it past? Like, what is this? And so it was really interesting for her to provide that background in the book. So that helped me a ton. So thank you, my team, for delivering that book to me. But since that book, since my original galactic reading, it has been just these puzzle pieces that have been dropped to me that are making me really scratch my head, like really don't understand what's going on here. And so I just wanted to kind of drop those to you and see if you've had similar experiences in case you're going through the same thing. A couple of these, I'm going to keep them all generic because I don't want to name names, but you know, some of these are clients, some of these are mentees, there have been so many, some of these are friends, so many people around me have had all of these different timeline experiences, different dimensional experiences. And I don't think there's an accident, because as soon as I put the intention in the universe for signing up for this galactic class, here it all comes, as always. And so I'm getting hot right now. That means my guides are here with me. Oh, God. So I'm going to let them kind of lead this conversation. So as we're talking about the things that I've heard and or experienced, it's been really interesting because I'm going to say it's been more timeline based, less dimensional. I'm going to open up to that, I think, pretty soon. But in terms of the timelines, it's been really interesting because I've had people that have told me that they have witnessed experiencing being in a different timeline. Now, I 100% believe these people. These are people in high integrity. I trust them. I've worked with them. I've been their friends, right? So like there's been several instances of people that have been in multiple dimensions and with things that they cannot explain that were physically different in their environment, right? And then the next day, it was all back to normal. So it was like a one-day experience, right? Fucking wild. And I 100% believe this person. I feel like she should have taken a picture. Probably wouldn't have worked though. And then I had another friend talking about how, you know, she was over a friend's house. There were 3 of them there. They were having fun. They were playing. They were doing all these things. And they were all like, oh man, I should probably check in with, you know, my husband. You know, I've been here for a while. I gotta just check in and make sure he's good for dinner, knows what to cook for dinner. And so she went to go check her watch, and what felt like hours had been 45 minutes. Like hours had been 45 minutes. So this bending of time that is happening, right? And less interdimensional or less timeline based, but this bending of time. And then this is going to sound absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. But this is exactly what happened. Friday night, I was home alone. I sent the rest of the family to the camp. I was trying to catch up on a ton of fucking shit for my work. And so I sent everybody away for the night so that I could work till midnight and don't bother me, right? And so around midnight, I closed the windows. It's New England. It gets cold at night. I left the 2 back windows open. These are the windows towards the lake. It was going to be cold that night. I was like, I'm going to leave them open anyway. It'll get the fresh air in, no problem, right? So I consciously looked at those 2 windows and I said, I'm going to leave those open. I'm going to shut all the rest. I'm not worried about those 2 windows. It's on a deck. No one can access it. It's like 10 feet above the ground. Like no one can get onto the deck and in these windows. So I'm going to leave them open and the rest of them I'm going to shut for safety reasons. Okay. I'm the only one alone. I'm the only one in this house. I'm home alone. I go to bed. I put pants on. I put leggings on because I know I'm going to wake up and it's going to be cold because these windows are open. And right now it's like 45, 50 at night here in New England. So I put pants on at night. I go to bed. I wake up in the morning. I shuffle around. I do all these things. And then I go to sit down to write an email. And those windows are shut. They're closed. I know for certain I had opened them and left them open the night before. 100% confident in this. 100%. The windows were closed the next morning. I do not sleepwalk. This was on a different level from my bedroom. No one can access this. I was home alone. Why the fuck were those windows shut? And I was just, and the energy felt different. This was Saturday morning. The energy felt different. Like it was really like, I felt good when I woke up. You know me, I don't wake up feeling super great. I feel neutral, but I felt good when I woke up. I felt productive. It was a very productive weekend, but I was like, what the fuck? There were some other things that I noticed. I know that's like a really small thing, but I wouldn't normally have paid attention to this. And maybe I timeline jumped all the time before and I never noticed. But now that I've gone through sacred roots, now that my nervous system is rebalanced, now that I'm back to a routine and I'm feeling much better in my energy, I'm noticing this stuff. And I'm noticing that there were supposed to be 24 eggs that I washed a few weeks ago in my fridge, and they were not in there. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? So there have been several things that I've noticed. And my kids we don't eat eggs like that. Like once they go into the fridge, it's the abyss because we have fresh eggs every day. So I know they should have been there. But it's like stepping into this new timeline and like me freaking out in my head because I'm, again, an overthinker. Like, what does this mean? What does this new timeline mean? What does this mean? Right. And like, maybe I'm overthinking it, but apparently I need to look into timelines a little bit more because I know exactly the moment where I chose to go to this new timeline. I was in a sound bath. I was in a sound bath with my friend Melissa outside in her backyard, and Spirit was walking me through all these different things. And they're like, if you redo your website, they like had me go up a level energetically. I'm like, I don't know what that is. So I like stayed in the sound bath. I like stayed in this upper level energy. And I swear to God, I fell asleep at the sound bath. I was snoring, the poor people around me. Stayed at this higher level vibration, woke up from the sound bath, went home, spent all night redoing my website, redid my website. Go check it out. It's lovely. Now it's hopefully easier to navigate. And then that next morning, I'm in a new fucking timeline. Like what does it mean? What does it mean to be in a new I don't even know what it means to be in a new timeline. Everything else is the same. Except I found out apparently my kidney cancer runs in my family this weekend. What the fuck? That wasn't in my own timeline. Kidney cancer didn't run in the timeline, in my other timeline. Like, she's like, oh, my mom's like, oh yeah, you didn't know that? There's like 3 members of the family that have had that. I'm like, what? And so now I'm literally questioning what's in the old timeline and what's in the new timeline. Is this like, am I sounding crazy? Because I feel crazy. Hopefully not certifiable yet. Don't need to institutionalize me yet, but it's just really interesting. And I'm trying not to think about it because I think that like everything, what was supposed to happen happened. But maybe this relates to the podcast I recorded recently, about like me stepping into this new version of me. And maybe that's what this did. Maybe that's what I chose, is this new next level version of me where everything flows. And maybe I'll win a Powerball ticket, everybody. Like, that would be great. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I timeline jumped this weekend, and I don't know what to do or say about it because I sound crazy. I sound like the people I would be like, they're bullshit. Don't listen to them. But when I tell you, like, and everything else has felt really similar, but better. Like I don't know if you can read the energy, if you can read my energy feels different. It feels different than it did before. I feel like my eyes are open and I can see things in a new way. I feel like I can hear spirit in a different way now. It feels a little more clear than it did before. And so I don't know if I like reverted time. I don't know if timeline jumping is something that we do all the time. I don't know. I have no clue. But it's just a couple of small changes that I've noticed so far, and my energy has been completely different. My husband bought a 4-wheeler on Sunday. Like, my husband never spends any money on himself. He just went out and bought one. And I was like, good, finally go do so. So I'm hoping this is a great timeline, everybody. I'll let you know if I feel like I've reverted back to old timelines, but fingers crossed. I'm supposed to be here for a reason. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about this. Let me see if there's anything Spirit wants me to relay, anything based on this timeline jumping experience that I had. Okay. So what I'm hearing is you did jump timelines. And consider it like the new and improved version of the past timeline. And I created it by setting the intention and doing the work. It's almost the way they're showing me in my head is like I was on one trajectory and now this one is a better trajectory. Does that make sense? Ding. They're showing me like there's this path and I split off into the new path. And I don't know what else. I don't know what else. I don't feel like it's going to go back to the original path, which is fine. Oh, the original path would have been went back to corporate America, they're telling me. But this new path is like, hell no. Okay, so that's what it is. Let me ask them while we're here then, what does this mean for, what can I tell people about timeline jumping, or what this means? Oh, I'm hearing that everybody can do it. They just might not be conscious of it. It may not be as obvious as it was for me, because they did it under very controlled circumstances for me to notice it. There we go. So when things are going your way, okay, so here's the big lesson they want us to walk away with. When things are going your way and things like suddenly change to a flow state and you feel like different. By the way, like, this is so interesting. Okay, hang on, I'm going to piece it together, because in March of this year, I had a vision of essentially the tower in reverse. And it happened in the middle of one of my classes. I know, because I was like sitting in front of the computer with everybody there, and people were talking and asking questions. And it's like I blacked out, not literally, but everything in my vision became black. And all I could see was, in my third eye, this tower upside down with the ground opening under me and lightning. And so it was literally the tower in reverse, like card they were showing me with this wide open. And I can tell you that I have not been able to really see past September in a lot of my predictive readings at all, for me, period. Like, I can see the collective a little bit. But for me, I have not been able to see past September. And when I was talking to a friend of mine, they're like, this sounds like a 6-month premonition of something that's going to happen. 6 months. And I'm like, 6 months? And they're like, yeah, 6 months. It is 6 months, everybody. I couldn't see past this point because it was a different path. So no wonder I couldn't see this new path of mine, because I would be seeing the old path that didn't fit. And so what Spirit wants me to tell you is, when things go good and when you're feeling really good, fucking go with it. Don't question it. Just roll with it. Sorry, I'm questioning it. Just roll with it, because you setting the intention and wondering, is this going to be different? Is it going to revert back? Maybe I need to do this, and like reverting back to the old version or the old ways you would have done things in these moments where you feel like you want to do things differently. That's going to hop you back to the other timeline. And so that's so interesting. So when things are going well, go with it. Listen to your gut, follow it. Because it is the new version of you. And I know, like, that nonsense that we all hear about, like, going back to old ways and reverting back to old lifestyles and these old behaviors, but Spirit is giving you the opportunity for a better path. So take it. You have the opportunity to stay there or not. That's what they're kind of showing me right now. So there it is. I sound like I'm fucking crazy, so I'm so sorry about that. I will let you know if there's like a different timeline jump that happens in the future. Hopefully it's a good one and not a bad one. Hopefully, you know, I'm not going to say it. You know what I'm thinking in terms of the political scape. But hopefully we'll be good, you know. Again, and it was so interesting too. It was so oh, here we go. It was so interesting too, because I've always dreamed of owning a white Maserati. Like, that is my jam. I want an Italian luxury car, a white one. Because whenever I see white cars, I see angels. That's like in my head. Like, whenever I see white cars, that's the picture of angel for me. Yep. And I saw a Maserati the other day, and I'm like, I want a white one. And it wasn't like the energy I got before, because before, when I would see a Maserati and I would say, I want a white one, it felt like I would never get it. It felt like it was out of reach. It felt like, you know, energetically, I was not matched up for that car. And when I did it on Sunday and I was like, I want a white Maserati, I was like, I'm going to get a white Maserati. I could feel it. It's going to be mine. That's going to be my car someday. Ding. The whole fucking energy of my life has changed. Like, so I'm going to ride this. I'm excited. We will see what the heck this means. I have no idea. I don't know. But stay tuned for more crazy Nicole stories about things that happen to, like, so when I tell you things are crazy, things like this happen to me every day. Oh, and then they're making me point out that I pulled another card from my Cosmovisions Oracle deck, which I talked about in I think the last episode or 2 episodes ago. The 10 of Trees. The 10 of Trees came up, and it essentially is a big tower that is now upright, which is called fulfillment and dreams coming true. Yep. Yep. So there it is. So the tower has made its way upright. I am now in the upside down, everybody. Which apparently is a new timeline. All right, I have like blah, 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 blah for the past 5 minutes, so I'm gonna get going. If you've had timeline jumping experiences, please, for the love of God, email me. I want to know about it. I want to read this. I want to talk about this. I cannot be the only one that has gone through this recently, and I feel like we now are at this point where we get to choose what, like, you know how everyone talks about the Earth's ascension from 3D to 5D? I think that we get to choose. I really do. And so I think that you can set the intention to fucking choose the 5D, fucking choose the upgraded timeline, which is going to look very, very similar to your timeline right now. And as you go further and further forward, it's going to get better and better and better. So make that intention. We are on the cusp of the full moon lunar eclipse right now as I'm recording this. Next full moon, set that intention. Next new moon, set that intention, right? I know the full moon is more releasing, so maybe next new moon, that might be a great time to do this, like, manifestation to your highest and best timeline. I'm just gonna put that out there. Ding. All right. I hope you have a lovely day. I thank you so much if you're still listening. You're still with me in my crazy life and my crazy story. I know it was just a window, but oh my God, the windows being shut literally have me spinning for days now. Days. I've told so many people about this. Days. I will let you know if any new things come to fruition. Sending you all the love from my apparently new highest and best timeline. Mwah. Take care.